Good morning, everybody. This is a lesson of radioactivity and nuclear energy. I'm going to start it from the beginning, so you're gonna follow up with me. Okay, so we said previously that there is a nuclear energy inside the nucleus due to to avoid or to overcome the repulsion force between the protons. So that's why there is a nuclear binding force. And this causes the huge amount of energy that is found inside the nucleus. Okay, and we said previously that there is something called the radioactivity phenomena. Radioactivity is the decaying of nuclei of radioactive elements to achieve stability. We said that the nucleus of a radioactive element contain number of neutrons more than required for it to be stable. That's why it needs to emit this excess energy in the form of rays, alpha, beta, and gamma rays, and nuclear energy is formed. Some radioactive elements example are radium, cesium, polonium, rubidium. Okay. Now we are going to move to the types of radioactivity. As you can see, we have two types, either the one which is found in nature or the one which is man-made. The one which is found in nature, it's spontaneous. Spontaneous means the atom do it by itself. The decaying of the nucleus is done by the atom itself without you doing anything. But the artificial radioactivity, it's induced, or you are making the atom, you are making the nucleus emit this amount of rays. This induced radioactivity can be controlled and can be used in safety purposes in the nuclear reactors, and we are going to study it later. And some of them cannot be controlled and is used in wars, nuclear bombs, as we previously said. Okay. Radiation pollution. We knew that there is an amount of radiation which is found all around us. Now there is radiation, but there is no radiation pollution because it doesn't exceed 5 rem per day. So the person shouldn't be exposed to more than 5 rem per day, and rem is a measuring unit of radiation. By this, there is no pollution. We have two kinds of pollution, of radiation pollution. We have natural and we have artificial. The natural pollution is caused by the radioactive elements which is found in the Earth's crust, like the radium, polonium, cesium we talked about, and the cosmic radiation which comes from outer space. So some radiations which come from outer space, it causes pollution, natural pollution. And we have artificial pollution, which is caused by us, which is caused by the nuclear bombs and nuclear reactors. Okay, there is a nuclear disaster which happened. A Russian reactor at Chernobyl, there was leakage of radioactive elements which was formed due to some wrong in some operations that occurred inside the radioactive reactor, inside the reactor itself. This melting of the reactor caused the leakage of some radioactive elements, and we found out this. How? How did we find out this? We found some radioactive elements, isotopes, inside the food, in the food we eat. Scientists found cesium isotope and iodine isotope in the food. So that's why they concluded that there is a leakage in the radioactive elements from this reactor. Okay, scientists discovered that there was an atomic cloud which was formed due to the accumulation of these radioactive elements. This atomic cloud was carried by wind, and when it got heavy, of course, it fell down as rain and polluted the plants with nuclear energy. And then these plants were eaten by man and animals, leading to the accident, leading to the disaster we talked about. Okay, now, what are the effects of radiation on us? Actually, it's not just death. It's not just death. And it's not just one effect. And it's not just one type. Okay, if someone is exposed to a large dose, to a huge amount of nuclear energy for a short time, this may cause damage of his bone marrow. Bone marrow means the liquid or the substance inside the bone. This substance, of course, as you know, I don't know if you know, this substance is responsible for the formation of red blood cells in our body. So by damaging this bone marrow, what happened is decreasing in the number of the red blood cells, the RBC, leading to some extra symptoms like sore throat, your throat hurts you, being sick, and diarrhea. It also causes damage of spleen. Spleen is something like, it's an organ in the digestive system, like the liver. It's an organ in the digestive system. And also it causes damage for the central nervous system. Okay, this is for the person who is exposed to a large dose for a short period of time. What about what about a person who is exposed for a small dose for a long time? Okay, this, I think it's more damage. There is more damage. As you can see, we have three effects. We have physical effects, genetic effects, and cellular effects. Physical effects, it's what appear on the person face, outer appearance. There is the deformations which are formed in the hands, in the face, physically outside the body, from the body outside. Okay, genetic effects is a change in the sex chromosomes. You remember, guys, that there were body chromosomes, somatic cells, and reproductive cells. Okay, now we're talking about reproductive chromosomes. Okay, these reproductive chromosomes, or the sex chromosomes, when happens in it changing, this leads to abnormal birth. Abnormal birth means the children with deformations, children which have six fingers in one hand and stuff like this, you know. Finally, cellular effect is damaging the cell itself, like the red blood cell. When it is damaged, what happens? The red blood cell, guys, carry or has hemoglobin. You know that the function of the hemoglobin in the body is carrying oxygen all over your body in the blood circulation. So the hemoglobin will not be able to carry the oxygen, and of course suffocation, and many things will happen. Okay, how to protect ourselves from this radioactivity pollution, from this pollution? First, of course, not to be exposed to radiation more than 5 rem per day. Okay? Workers in the reactors should wear protective clothes like gloves, like shirts, things to protect them. Nuclear wastes, you know, the anything must have wastes. So this nuclear waste we must deal with it very cautiously. How? This nuclear wastes should be buried deeply in steady places, buried deeply inside the earth in steady places, with no earthquakes. This place is steady. And of course, away from the underground water, of course. Okay, we have 3 types of nuclear wastes. We have weak nuclear wastes, we have medium nuclear wastes, and we have strong nuclear wastes. Weak, medium, or strong depends on the heat, mainly. Weak and medium radiation are, they don't emit that much amount of heat emitted by the strong one. So they're just surrounded with a cement or a rocky layer before being buried under the earth, deep down under the earth, while the strong ones are cooled first, then buried. Okay, some nuclear plants means nuclear stations. Some nuclear stations must have artificial lakes, have man-made lakes to throw their wastes in it. Okay, now we're going to move to some peaceful uses of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy has some good uses, like diagnosis and treating of cancer. This can be done by nuclear energy. Eliminating or killing the pests and improving races. Eliminating pests means killing the insects which harm the plants, and also it's used in the researches of improving the races of the plants. Races are being better. This is in the agriculture. While in the industry, it's used in converting or changing the sand to silicon, which is used in making computers. Okay, and also it's used in discovering defects in manufactured products. We can discover the defects Okay, it can be used also in generating electricity by the turbines, like the turbines under the high dam is operated or is rotated by using the force of the water. Then these turbines are operated by a huge force of the nuclear energy. This nuclear energy produces steam from the water, vapor, from the water, by heating it, so operating the turbines, making the turbines rotate. Okay, it's used also in space exploration, in discovering the space, as it's used as a nuclear fuel for the rockets. And finally, it can be used for searching for petroleum and underground water. Okay, lastly, we're going to talk about the role of the scientists in the radioactivity. First, Henri Becquerel is a French scientist who discovered the phenomena of radioactivity. Dr. Mustafa Musharrafa, he put some theories, and these theories were the basis of nuclear bombs, unfortunately. But he objected in many ways for using these researches or for using the technology in these disasters. He emphasized on we must use it for the human benefit only. Okay, thank you.